everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing fan-stinking-tastic. I pushed the live before I was supposed to, so bear with me for a minute. I mean, it's supposed to be at 4:45 anyways, so you got a few minutes, all right? You just need to chill. Anyways, we're gonna talk about this this police incident. Let's make sure the old mic is working, which it is. Let's make sure the old camera's working. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Looking real good. I know you guys aren't gonna watch this live. I mean, nobody's got that in their life. So, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. All right, let's see what we got here. I gotta go to this. Where is it? If I click on this, it might be too loud. No audio, that's good. Let's go to this. Let's go to live. And there's my ugly mug. That's awesome. So now I can see your guys' comment. Let me know if I'll bring this up just a touch if I can. There we go. It's like delayed. It's like weird watching it. So anyways. All right, you guys. So you asked for it. I'm going to deliver it. So here's what it is. The van incident. I literally, you're not going to believe this. And these are the things I love telling you guys these stories because I know it's reaching out to one person out there. Just one. Might be even a little half of one, but just one. And it's great because, like I said, I never had nobody telling me this stuff. I had to go buy books. I had to do my own research. I had to go through my own courses. So it's all free right here. So I ended up, so the police incidents with this van. I'll never forget this. I don't typically I don't even do it like really anymore. We used to do the big parties for the kids. We kind of looked at it, we think it's a little over the top. It doesn't teach the kids morals. It's a lot of gifts and things like that, and it's kind of not real life, and it's more stuff that we have to store and take care of, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. But back when I was a little younger, we're doing this we're doing this big party, right? My house is next to my neighbor's. We actually take down the fence. The neighbor's got a pool. I mean, we got a one of those blow up things, for kids to bounce, a bounce house. We rented a bounce house. I think we might even rented two. We might have a big one and we might have a small one for little kids. I mean, just a massive event going on. Now, there wasn't a lot of people on our block, so I let everybody know. I'm like, hey, there's going to be a party. You're more than welcome to come. There's going to be food. There's going to be cake. We're doing a cookout. There's pool. I mean, like, it's everything. And so I remember, hey, everything's good for the day. I'm going to be there for a little bit. Hopefully my audio's good. Make sure the audio's good. All right, nobody here, I don't think. I don't think nobody's here. Got to make sure the audio stays good because you got to let me know if the audio goes down. So, we're having a good time. I start thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm not a big drinker. Just never have been. Probably a good thing because if you run a business, I would say if you run a business, this is just my honest opinion. This is from my heart. This is my opinion. If you have any kind of drugs or abuse and that, you probably shouldn't do a business. Don't do it. Don't do it because you're going to probably inflate that. Not saying it's always going to happen, but it could happen. Because there's been many times where I'm like, the bottle would sound really good if I really liked it. So anyways, we're at this job. Or I'm not at this job. We're at the house. I'm thinking I'm home. We're not, like I'm asking the wife, I'm asking her, like, nobody needs me to travel, right? Like, I don't need to go nowhere because I'm going to start drinking. So I start drinking, right? I'm not drinking heavily, but maybe I got a beer, 2 or 3, maybe. I'm starting to really enjoy myself, having a great time. Everybody's showing up. I mean, just a massive amount of people. It was awesome. And I remember sitting there doing it, and all of a sudden I see this cop coming, right, through the crowd. And I'm like, oh, man, I already know. I think I know what's going on here. I think it's going to be a noise ordinance, which I don't understand because there's commercial across the street from me. my street already knows everybody. I'm cool with all my neighbors. We're all connected. We're all good people. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, maybe we can't block the road or something. Cops wandering his way through. And I remember he walks up to me and he's like, are you Mr. Doobson? Should I answer that? Like, yeah, I'm Mr. Doobson. I need to talk to your wife. Now, mind you, it's like, do I incriminate myself? Do I incriminate my wife? Could I go to jail for this? Like, I'm like, yeah, let me find her for you. Now, there's no time, you know what I mean? So it's just like, kind of look over the crowd. There she is, But I want to make sure I'm a part of this, right? Because I want to be there for, if something goes wrong or I can help with the investigation. And so I remember we walk over there, and come to find, the guy goes, he kind of laughs a little at the cop, and he goes, it doesn't look like you were at the Dollar General, and you just stole some lipstick. And she's like, no, I pretty much have, been here all day getting tables ready, and he's like, I can pretty much tell that. He's like, I got to write up a report though. He's like, let's go back to my vehicle. So we're kind of still like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Lipstick at a Dollar General. We haven't been there. Stolen lipstick. What's going on? So come to find out, we get there, we start talking to him about this vehicle. We sold the vehicle with a license plate. So take this. If you don't know, you know now. With a license plate still attached to it. Totally our fault. I totally take 100% responsibility for that. But it just happens. You go through a lot of vehicles. It's not like when it's your own house and you work for an employer, right? And you only have your one vehicle, let's say. No, we got multiple vehicles. And this one's getting old, and I've been there with the used vehicles and that. So the problem is when you deal with used vehicles, you're turning them around a lot faster in a sense, right? Because the brake lines are rusting out, and especially up in the Rust Belt of Michigan and everywhere else. That's why we typically try to deal with new vehicles. Not always, probably not always going to happen, but it's just the reason why. So anyways, the license plate was on this vehicle. The person that purchased this vehicle decided not to take that license plate off. So as that vehicle was leaving, you can imagine our license plate was still on the vehicle. And it was an honest mistake. It happened. And you know what was really weird about that, which really kind of irked me, was that I remember the guy called me maybe once prior to this, and he had something was not quite right with the title. But it was, needless to say, it was, the guy lost the title. And I was like, I'm not here to babysit this guy, right? And then after this cop shows up, I mean, it's 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe a month. He calls me up again. Now, mind you, this guy is not intelligent at all. And I really wanted to lay into him and say, you know what, dude? I had a police officer show up my kid's birthday. It kind of wrecked my day. I'm glad nothing happened, but I mean, I'm sitting there, think about how you'd feel. Like you're sitting there thinking to yourself going, oh my gosh, I think my wife's going to go to jail today. As you're having a birthday party when everybody expects you to be there, hey, well, where's your wife? She went to jail today. You know what I mean? Oh, gee, and that's why I love talking to you guys about this stuff, because this thing can go really deep. And so, but you don't know it until you experience it, right? When you're first starting out, you're looking at the money, it's you and maybe a part-time person or a buddy, and you're thinking it's just, oh, you're just making so much money. You're just doing so great. But there's just so much time involved that I want you guys to understand. And there's so many things behind the scenes that nobody ever knows. You know what I mean? Employees, secretaries, they don't know on a weekend you're getting bombarded by the cops. You know what I mean? It adds up. I did want to talk about this for a minute. I might have a cat jump on me here. I see it's bothering me. So there was a gentleman, I think it's Zach, Mr. Zach. So hopefully Mr. Zach sees the video. But he was talking about, he's over in my neck of the woods, And I don't know quite how I feel about this. So I wanted to talk about this. So Zach, I'm going to mention this a little bit. I've been trying to break into the full-time garage door industry slash repair for a few months now. I stumbled on your YouTube channel. I really like your content. Appreciate that. No one else, let's see, breaks down inside of the business. Recently, I noted a few of your videos in Muskegon. Yes, I'm not going to say where he's at, but he's not too far away. He's doing residential construction and a few doors here and there. This has basically been for the last few years, but I've been trying to push into the garage door work and wanted to reach out to you. With your experience field, growing interest, interest in mentorship. So Zach, I mean, honestly, I'm not saying no. So here's the thing. I want to bring this out to some of you guys. I'm not saying no, that there isn't opportunity, because there always is. But the one thing is, a lot of people got to remember, I run multiple businesses. I have a lot of real estate too that I deal with, my rentals and stuff. So I'm not 100% always in the business. I dabble in there. I try to jump in when I'm needed. So I sometimes don't see all the things. Now it's something I'd always have to ask the guy that's running the place to see if there's something maybe he'd want to entertain a little bit. Not that I can't step into. So I'm not saying no. I'll mention it to him. That's for sure. But honestly, you can lay in the comfort of your bed and you can always email me with questions. Anybody can. I always put my email. I'm an open door. Some of you guys, you got my number. You text me. But I'm here for you guys. I want you guys to succeed. I want you to be smarter, faster, better. And the best part is, I learn from you guys too, a lot about some of these LiftMaster products and stuff. And I love that. I love the community of it. It's definitely a blessing. I come with years of experience in the pitfalls, and that's the stuff I try to bring to the surface that I don't want you guys to have to deal with, because it's not fun. It's not fun. And I wish I want people to understand what kind of goes on out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not like, oh, geez, it must be nice. I used to get guys all the time when I would sit in the office, right? And mind you, this is how it'd work. I would literally like run through, like, I'd do a couple service calls, right? I'd blast through them. And then it was like, oh my gosh, I got to get back to the shop. Because I got to check on the guys, right? I got to check to see how the day went. What'd you get done? What didn't you get done? Because what you didn't get done, now I got to catch up on it. I got to fill in the void. I got to schedule you for tomorrow. I got to change the schedule. There's just so many things. And, you get guys that walk in and they're like, oh, it must be nice to sit in the air conditioning all day. And it's like, dude, it's not really. Like, I'd rather be stacking a door today and not think about this crap. Did you know I had to talk to the attorney? Did you know I had to deal with the vendor that's telling me this stuff's on back order? I mean, it's like the list goes on. And I mean, it's just, so I just want you guys to expand your mind a little bit, where I can be that person where it's like, is this something I want to get into full time? And I'm not here to say, like I said, everybody's situation's different. Everybody wipes their butt a different way. Everybody uses a different hand. I can't say what's the right, as long as it gets the job done and you don't get a rash. That's all. As long as the job gets done, no rash. No rash on the ass. Sorry, I had to say that. So let me take a look here. Subcontracting. So he's talking about knowing and preferred commercials. Delegate. So I'm not saying we can't always do something. Backgrounds. So, Zach, I mean, I'm not gonna say no. Like I said, I don't mind doing mentorship. I don't really qualify myself as like being up there to do it, even though I got quite a bit of years. I probably could very easily. But the thing is that the one thing I've learned, there's just so much content now on the old interweb that a lot of stuff you can work your way through it, and you can just if you stop. This is just for anybody. If you stop watching Netflix, watching Dukes of Hazzard, watching, playing the video games, all this information. I can't even condone college unless you have, who's that one guy that said it? Was it, I can't think of the guy with the Lambos. Who was it? Drawing a blank. Zach or something? It's not Zach, but that one guy. Anyways, the way he put it is he said, college is like a light, right? A light can light up the room. If you narrow the light down into a laser, it can cut through steel. So I always look at that and I go, that's how college has to be. If you're going to go to college, you're going to be a doctor. That's your passion, and it needs to be like your passion. It's something you absolutely have always wanted to do. Then you need to do those things. You need to go to school. You know what I mean? There's certain things. But I've seen too many people in school, and when I used to ride the bus or when I started growing up and I even graduated, I seen too many people that were into they're making all this money, they're making this, and it's like, don't worry about so much about making money. You can make money at like anything. You can be a used car salesman. You can be a new car salesman. You can sell lumber at a lumber store. I mean, you can do garage doors. You can mop floors. People will pay you. It's just a matter of, is that what you like doing? And I've always found out with like, this is always my personality. I'll give you a little piece of it. With the garage doors, I always enjoyed the satisfaction of accomplishing something. When I used to work at a shop, I hated it. I did bumpers. I mean, I sound like an Eminem song here, but I used to deal with bumpers that were like the inside metal part of it, not the outside. You would never even see it. There was nothing except for I see the car go by and I go, hey, I might have helped build that bumper. Whoopee. I can't say for sure. It could have been second shift. It could have been third shift. But you were just dealing with parts every day, the same rigmarole, day in, day out. Now, there was some beautiful parts about that. You were inside, you were in climate. Of course, in the summertime, it got hot. And so it's just, and the worst part was really the people. The people really stunk. I mean, they were, every time I break, they're doing this and they're going to supposedly fire me if I get late one more time. And it's like, well, you get 3 strikes and you're kind of out. I mean, you might get 4 or 5. It's just, they just, this place stinks. And it's like, well, the door's right there. You can leave. Nobody says you have to stay. So there was just always a whole laundry list of things that went along with it. But when I did garage doors, at least, you could stand back. Normally the customer would be, hey, it looks great. It looks really nice. You had something there where, and it's positive. There's positives and negatives. There is. I mean, then you got to deal with callbacks. You deal with like I said, I already got this one thing going on. I'm just going to check and make sure. There we go. We're good. Just double check. Anyways, I see you guys jumped on here. I don't know for sure what this thing, because I don't have the phone. I can't look at it. But if anybody's got any questions, jump in. I'm going to tell you probably one more little story of, I don't want to hide that. So, this is on the turbulent side of things, right? I remember I had a business partner. And I remember I ended up, I was going away. And I found out right away, no, not right away, it took a little while to learn, that for the most part, not always, but business owners don't get vacations. Kind of crummy. And so I remember I was going on vacation. And mind you, I remember I ended up, this business was originally, and these are the things that sometimes people don't understand. But this business originated at my house, in my garage. And, kind of when you start it, your intentions are that you think, you go, well, hey, I got low overhead. But then you start realizing like some scenarios. Like, let's say you go on vacation and you come home early maybe a day or 2 or 3 days, right? But you're still on vacation, right? But now that you're home, your workers or whoever, they see your vehicle there, right? Even though if it's a separate building, let's just say. But it always blows my mind how people are so visual, right? I'm not saying I'm not either, but when you visually see, like they see, like, oh, the car's home, Dave must be home. It's time to call Dave. And it's like, whoa, 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 time out, time out. That's not the scenario here. Like, I'm still on vacation. I didn't say I'm coming back early to work or anything, and I haven't came out, and I'm still on vacation. So you learn these things that, it's that was kind of a pain. Another thing you learn is that you learn that being at your job 24/7 can start kind of grinding on you. Every time you walk out your door, there's service trucks. There's your own truck. Geez, that one needs new tires. Geez, I know that one needs a brake. Oh, that one needs a back windshield. This one needs a paint job. It can add up. So I remember I'm going on vacation, right? And I end up, I get this, I got the secretary. I don't know if I knew or kind of knew that my business partner at the time is dating, or they're both married, mind you. They're in the midst of divorce, both of them. And so I'm like, just I want to make sure like things are being handled and stuff. So I remember I literally put a camera up, and I remember how mad I was. And it's like it seemed like it never failed, except for the probably last, I don't know, 5 years. It's never failed that it's like you come back from vacation and things are worse, or you come back and it's like you're ticked. You know what I mean? Because things are just like blown up, chaotic. Nobody knows what to do. And you're like, are you serious? And I remember I had the camera, right? Well, I guess what happened, what triggered it for it to get ripped down and basically destroyed was that they were kissing at work. And they didn't want that, I'm assuming, to be used as why they're both still going through a divorce, to be ammunition against them. Which was not the case. It was more or less like, let's make sure things are being done. We're actually putting in the time. So I want you guys to think sometimes. You think it's all, oh, I'm gonna start this, but you have no idea that. I want to say this very gingerly because there is great people. There is great people. I have great people now. But the things I didn't know, the things I didn't look for, it's amazing how people will take advantage of you. And I always remember my buddy telling me, he says, look, here's the thing. I don't go to your house and take things. You don't come to my house and take things. But see, the difference is when you run a bit, you're opening the doors, right? You're opening the doors of customers. You want customers, and you got your employees and stuff. And now you're opening the door for theft, money, checks to be used fraudulently, debit cards, credit cards to be used inappropriately. You're opening the door for, like, whatever that person has for baggage is going to be your baggage now. I remember one guy that the guy that was kind of rough around the corners I told you about. He was saying when, he comes to work one day, and I always like knew, right? It was just like a given. I'd be walking up to the shop. He just come in there and it was like, gravel flying, and he just put the car in park as hard as and I was like, he get out and he's like, I got a problem. Yeah? Don't we all, brother? And I'm like, well, what's that? And he's like, well, he goes, my hot water tank quit working. Okay. So, in my head, I'm thinking he probably needs to use a service vehicle to haul it or something, or. And now, mind you, this is like Monday, right? they get paid on Friday. And he goes, well, he goes, I need 40 bucks. I don't have any money. Mind you, this guy, not judging, but just giving you a picture here. He lives with his mom in a trailer park. And he needs a hot water tank. I paid him Friday. He gets paid way over $400, just to say, every week. And this guy's asking me to borrow $40. So what do? I give him the $40. Do you think I ever got paid back? Nope. Nope. I don't think he used a vehicle, but he needed that $40. And then what was the worst part is what I ended up doing is I ended up changing my whole payroll structure because of this guy. We used to pay on Friday. And this is something you can use for yourself or your business or whatever. I found out that if you pay people on Friday, they're broke Monday. Well, why is that? I don't know. Because they go to the bar, because they spend all their money over the weekend going purse shopping or buying jeans or, I don't know, buying car parts or buying whatever. And Monday they're broke. And so this guy, it seemed like he came up the first time and it was like, hey, he goes, I wouldn't normally ask this, right? When he first started working for me. And he goes, could I get an advance on my paycheck? And I thought, I get it. He's just up here. He's kind of green again. Sure. But this guy consistently starts wanting advance on the paycheck. And it's like, dude, I can't keep doing this. Like, that's not fair to the other employees. I mean, this isn't working. So anyways, I changed it to Wednesday because I found out if you pay them Wednesday, they're not so likely to go to the bar and spend it. They got a few days to pay some bills, and maybe by the weekend, they got a little fudge money now. And then, it's like, it broke up that whole, like, I just kept getting bombarded. It seemed like with people, they get paid, I pay them on Friday and Monday, they're like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what? It's like, I can't pay you on a Friday? And I remember another business I worked for, they did the same. And that seemed like it worked out good. And it's worked out ever since. So Wednesday pay, not Friday pay. Just something to put out there. So anywho, all right, let's see what's going on out in the world here. I don't see nothing. I'm surprised nobody's got anything, any questions. Don't be afraid. Ask me how the cat's doing. I don't care. You can ask anything. I'm going to jump off here in a few minutes otherwise. So, I still plan on doing Sunday. I'm going to try Sunday. We're going to try to do live because I know some people like it to be a little more consistent. I just figured right now I could do it. I didn't have a bunch of noise in the background and stuff. I felt like jumping on here. I was just dealing with a gentleman that's having a little bit of a hard time, so we'll pray for him. But yeah, it's been a weird ride. So the van, yeah, I couldn't believe having the cops show up, man. That was just not cool. So anywho, I think I'm gonna jump off here, guys. It's time for getting cleaned up a little bit, doing some evening chores and whatnot. I hope you guys learned something. I open up the doors a little bit on stuff, And if you got any questions, like I said, don't hesitate. Email me. And like I said, Zach, not out of the question. It just might be a little bit of a wait to see what could kind of happen, what we could do. I don't want you wasting your time, your gas, all that kind of stuff. I know you're just starting, but you might, trust me, just follow along for a little bit. We'll see what we can do for you. I'm all about helping people, want people to learn and all that jazz. It's just, you wouldn't believe it, but I'm pretty busy. I know. Yeah, I don't just sit in the office and air conditioning all day. I really wish that was the case. So, all right, guys, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Hit that like button on your way out. I gotta shut this off somehow. How do I shut this off? Shut it off. Turn it off.